Nice Shorts theme song.
Nice shorts. Yeah.
Hi, Shengwei. Thank you so much for joining us today for this.
Thank you. Yeah, I really, really appreciate the time. Yeah.
The narration in the film was someone you interviewed?
Yeah. It's actually a documented sound material. It is not something I fabricated. It's
Okay.
based on the true story. She is my friend, and she is a professor teaching in Kaufman Dance Department in University of Southern California. And because both of us, we had a beloved family member passed away in that period of time. So we talked about our like passed away like family members. Like she lost her brother and I lost my grandma. And we shared very similar like emotions and traumatic memories. So she told me her story. It's about the relationship between a mushroom sculpture she carved 42 years ago when she was a college student and her own brother's death. And I find
Mhm.
this is very interesting because we're supposed to learn that we will grab some like so-called important memories related to our beloved ones, but
Mm.
this is not the case. Like the mushroom has nothing to do with her brother.
Mm.
But this is something very beautiful because the irrelevant memories, they're forced to be twisted together. And this force is so powerful. And she couldn't even control. So now, like every time when she record the death of her brother or like any memories of her brother, that mushroom sculpture just emerge and consume her consciousness. So I think this is something I find very like fascinating to me.
This is the third episode of Perfect City series. Do you want to give us a catch up of like what is Perfect City? What is the thread weaving through the storytelling and then leading to the third episode of your exploration?
Yeah, definitely. So, Perfect City is actually a space of nightmares and bad dreams and memories,
Mhm.
and with a perspective of materiality. So
Like,
basically, each episode focus on a specific material. Like for example, the first episode is using all different kinds of dry flowers and dry tree barks and dry grass versus milk like liquid and
Mm.
also blood and telling the story the relationship between me and my mom and
Mm.
also it's based on my nightmare and the second episode is using all different kinds of like paper different texture like paper and cardboard and versus like knife and metal and also based on another my nightmare and also it's the relationship between me and my parents
Okay.
but this one is a little bit different because when I created the first two episodes, I found out I really need to resonate with other people. And
Mm.
I want to know other people's nightmare. It's not just only my nightmare. So I want to reach out and I want to branch out. I started to have a lot of questions, like, for example, why I have those nightmares. And also, what does it mean, like having those dreams? And what's the relationship between dreams and death? And what's beyond death? And what is beyond life? And why those traumatic moments are camouflaged in a way in our dreams and are constantly twisted and fabricated in our memories. So all these questions leads to the third episodes, the mushroom.
Can I use the air quote like perfect city?
like,
Perfect? Like,
you-
hmm?
Sort of, it's not. And also, I think this is sort of one of the origin of Perfect City is because my mom, like, she's very controlling, and she want everything to be perfect.
I see.
And yeah, because I'm currently doing my documentary, and she mentioned that I am part of her life, and I am an extension of her life, and
Right.
she wants her life to continue in the long run, and she wants her life to be perfect. So I am part of
yeah, no
like
pressure.
like a
Yeah,
product, and
yeah.
Yeah.
it's just sort of like a curse of the blood of the family tree in a
That's
way.
yeah.
So maybe that's the reason why I named this series as the perfect city.
I
So
see.
it's such an obsession of a concept And that concept sort of kills the actually beauty of the individual. Um, yeah.
It's also cool of like just perfect is fake. Like there's no such thing as perfect. So even trying to name something perfect is just already a losing battle. Well, if you want to share, what are the nightmares?
For this one, for the third episode, this is a combination between my nightmare and my friend's traumatic memories. So it's a combination of both. So after I hearing her traumatic memory, I had another dream. So in that dream, there was a really, really like hyper real, hyper detailed like huge mushroom sculpture, and the mushroom sculpture was like sort of melting in front of me. You can see like those hyper real like photos in the gallery. It's very similar to that. Like you can see every single detail on that texture, and it was so terrifying because it was constantly dripping. It's just dripping in front of you. And
Yeah.
then I woke up, but then I noticed that because I was lying like this,
Mhm.
so I was hearing there was a hand like scratching beside me. It's like
Ew.
I was hearing that noise. It was just like a hand like gently scratching my pillow.
Uh-huh.
And and I was so like frightened, and I couldn't move. I don't even know if it's still another dream or not,
Yeah.
because it's sort of like in between, like you're in between the nightmare and the reality. It's a
Right.
very like blurred boundaries between those two dimensions. So that was the reason why I want to use the fabric, because the sound of this like hand scratching on my pillow, that was the most horrifying sound in my life. like like
The-
so every time when I watch the horror movies, like if they use the jump scare, like
Mhm.
I won't believe that, because in my experience that was not terrifying at all. In my perspective, the most terrifying sound is the most gentle sound, like scratching the pillow. So
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm with you on the pillow one. Like hearing a sound, an intimate sound that shouldn't be happening.
yeah, so I think the sound of the scratch sort of inspired my sound design. It's sort of just like a bump, like just open the portal of my body that I can really feel the sound. Because before that, I think sound is sort of like a decoration of the image. But after that experience, I feel like sound is much, much more important than image, because it directly impacts your body. And also because sound is just like vibrance from different material.
Yeah, just
Yes.
air moving.
I design all the sound and I mix
Mm.
all the sound.
It sounds
Yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
because
Yeah.
I spent a whole year, just spent a lot of time collecting and really, really like pay attention, listening to all different kinds of like noises in my life. And I tried to manipulate the noises and layer them to generate some new sound. So that's how I designed the soundtrack of this one.
It was
Mushroom.
good. It was good.
I used to think sound design is a very like technical driven job.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I am very afraid of like learning a new software.
Uh,
But I think after I having that dream, and also I talked to my mentor, Kathy and Everett, in expanded animation department, I think they inspired me a lot, because they told me when you do any kinds of art, it's nothing about technology. It definitely has some relationship with technology, but the most important thing is what is your emotion and
Hmm.
what drives you to create. Because if you find that core, or if you find that like driven energy, the technical choices and the technical process will naturally unfold in front of your eyes. And
yeah.
I find this word is really, really interesting, unfold, because when I had the sensitivity and also when I had this kind of energy to resonate with that kind of sound in my mind, I just naturally, like started to learn like Pro Tools, and I don't know how I like made it, but it just drives me. It's sort of I'm a portal, and there is a hand like from a different dimension, like leads you to learn all this kind of software and to learn all this kind of process, and you can just make it. So I just find it really, this is a very, very beautiful process, because you gave yourself out to the unknown, and you trust yourself and you trust your body, and the unknown will lead the way to where it should be.
Yeah. So it's like even though it's a nightmare episode for every perfect city, but somehow the process of put it out and we get to see the result, like that process is very pleasant to you, like the
It
making.
is very pleasant. It is. And I feel like this is a very healing process.
Okay.
Because, like, for example, I'm currently reading a book. I don't know how to translate it in English, but it's sort of like your body will never forget.
Oh,
Um,
Oh, The Body Remembers is the name of the book.
the body
yes. Yeah.
remember. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reminding. And I think there is one way of facing with your trauma, that is converting your trauma into a thing. No matter that the thing is an artwork or an essay or even just like focusing on the item, just like trying to convert that thing into something you can touch or you can like see or you can hear or you can, like it's sort of like a convert the trauma into a tangible item, and you
Mm.
can have a conversation with that. So I think I got inspired by that. And I feel like the Perfect series is sort of a healing process of both me and my friends.
It,
Wow.
that's cool. So kind of like naming the emotion and meditating, like just identify the thing and then you can kind of see it separate from yourself.
Yes.
Hearing you describing different nightmare, different dreams, I'm very curious how close from that time you dream about and to the final, how do you craft and reach what you experience, if that makes sense? Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is a really good question. And I think my question is it necessary to make it 100% precise to
Mm-hmm.
the original dream or not?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it is impossible to completely translate your original emotion or your original dream or memories in a way, because this is still an artwork, which means you will definitely manipulate and you will definitely recreate the work during the process, and you will absorb a lot of new energy. So basically, for me, I think the dreams and memories are sort of like the hint or like the origin. It's sort of like a start of the journey. And I'm not obsessed with, like mimicking or like make it 100% precise
Yeah.
as what I experienced, but I will try to be as honest as possible during the whole journey.
Mm,
Because like, when you're processing your dreams and memories, when you're processing that, even you want to hide or even you want to like camouflage, I think the camouflage and hide themselves is sort of a reflection of the honest.
Yeah. Also, like dreams, I mean, I don't know about you, but as soon as I try to remember it, it kind of keeps morphing. Like it feels like my dreams
Yeah.
are an unreliable narrator. So even trying to capture what it really is, every time you try to remember it, you're mutating it regardless.
When I made this film, basically 90% of all the shots, like I animate the light all the time.
Mhm.
I think for stop motion animators, maybe lots of us paying a lot of attention to animating the puppets or the environment or the camera. But I think animating the light or like trying to keep in mind like light is a very, very important element in a cinematic language. It can shape the personality of the character, and
Mm.
also it can deliver a lot of emotional dimensions to the audience.
yeah,
Um,
It was a
I
totally.
think,
cool part of your opening shot because you had the light going around, and at first I thought it was live action, and then you had the puppet move. I was like, oh wait, so you were moving the light source and then still animating while the light source was moving. Was that something that you had around the puppet, a regular interval, like markings, and you knew like each frame the light had to move this much, or how did you
oh,
do that?
it's very cheap. Like for example, like I animate all the film in my bedroom,
Mm.
and I only use the corner of the space. So it's a very, very cheap and affordable like way of production. Like I only use like a Amazon LED. It's very cheap. It's only $90. And if you buy in China, it's only 20 yuan, which is $5. I only use that for maybe like most of the film. And the one light I use for the environmental light to light up like the base. and another light for all the animating, like the circling the light. And I
Hmm.
just use the hand because when you use the hand like this, and you can make it very, very flexible.
Oh,
Oh,
so you're literally holding it in your hand when you clicked in Dragon Frame. Oh shit, you're Iron Man.
so even there's
Like,
no arm for the lamp for you to do this. It's really your hand finding the light direction.
Yeah, like the reason why I like stop motion is because everything is the extension of my body. I don't enjoy 3D. Like for example, the 3D part in this film, I was collaborating with two of my like really, really good 3D animators. Like they're my friends. But I am not attached to 3D animation because I need to touch. I need to feel that all the devices and all the materials, I have the sensitivity to feel like the motion of the light when
Right.
you hold it in your hand. So
and you
Wow,
saved
you really.
yourself money buying a stand, so that's nice.
yeah, like I think the majority of the budget going into this film are spent on 3D parts because I need to hire them. But for all the stop motion part, like the puppets and the objects and the materials and the space and all the things are zero budget because like those like clothes I collected from my friends. I used the waste materials to
Mhm.
form that big mushroom.
The one that's behind you now, which I couldn't tell if it was like gauze or like a burlappy kind of material,
This is the fabric to clean up the kitchen table.
like a
And
dish
because
rag.
yeah, because I have been using this fabric for almost over 5 years. So you can see all the dirt, like the dirt from the oil and also I accidentally broke something because when you constantly wash the fabric, it will like break. So you can see the structure and all the holes. So
Yeah.
basically I didn't design this. I just like use the fabric in my kitchen. And I really like this kind of texture.
When you were animating this ripple wave through it that's folded, but the whole thing is still maintaining its position everywhere else.
So this part was purely animated by hand.
All
Uh,
downshooter for that, right?
yeah, if you like make it wet, it will like become very heavy, and also like the it will be easy to extend it and shrink and not in like interact and impact other parts.
Okay.
So
Mm.
like every time when I animate this part, I will just make it like put a lot of water on top of that and like wait for a while and then start to animate. I've noticed that after I started to document my dreams and my memories for so long, and after I convert them into the first, the second episode, and also the third one,
Mm.
I started to not dream quite often anymore.
Hmm.
Ah.
And yeah, and I feel that I become a little bit more light than before. And I become more and more like honest and I
Mm.
can like talk about my trauma and my relationship between me and my original families. But before I documented the dreams and whatever, I didn't even have a courage to speak out.
Mm.
I think I changed a lot. And this kind of change also reflected in the fourth and fifth episode I'm currently working on for this series. The mushroom, this one is sort of like a turning point. Like I still want to combining traditional narrative structure with abstract approach, but for the fourth episode, it's a pure abstract film. I think all of my previous films are pretty much like dirt.
Mm.
But I feel like the fourth episode is pretty much like the flower because I just constantly processing all this kind of like shitty things. And then it's just like emerge. It's really hard to describe, but I think maybe that's the power of abstract form. So the fourth episode is a relationship between the ceramic and the stone. And the mud, like the liquid, will be the bridge. And it's sort of like a visual poem. And I spent a lot of energy on this one. Um, and the fifth episode will be a VR piece. And I will convert all the previous like episodes into a virtual reality space. So the audience can like really immerse themselves in this kind of material based like nightmare space. So that will be the upcoming two episodes. I'm still working on that. It will take years, but I'm very excited about the whole series.